most of you know me, but just in case, my name is Ursi van der Herten, and I'm part of the Esade admissions team. So our team is recruiting worldwide, and me personally, I'm responsible for Italy and then also for Africa as regions where I am recruiting for MSCs, full-time MBA and executive MBA. So first of all, welcome to all of you, to all the candidates that are here, and then especially our students, current students, and then also our alum. So Dario Leonetti is here with us today. He's graduated from Esade last year. And then we have Eleonora, Maxime, and Matilde. So it's great that we have four, I would say, students and alumni from different programs, right? From the international management, marketing management, master in finance, and then also from innovation and entrepreneurships. So which makes it very diverse. So in case you're interested in one or the other, you can also get direct feedback and information from our students and alumni. And then also, of course, here with us is Claudia Mercuri, my colleague who's responsible for the career activities, and she will also tell you more about that. I'm going to give you just a brief idea about what programs we have and what is the structure of the program. So it's going to be very short. I would like to focus more on the career information and then, of course, on the experiences of our students. So at Esade, we have different MSc programs, as you might have seen. We have the Master in International Management, Finance, Business Analytics, Sustainability Management, which is a new master that we launched this year. Marketing management, and then innovation and entrepreneurship. Of course, we also have for a second year option to do the SAMS program, to do an internal double degree, and also to do an external double degree. Now, I want to show you the format. The format is similar. It's the same for all our programs. So you can see that it is divided in different terms, in 3 terms. Before you start a program, depending on your background, depending on the master program that you've chosen, you might be asked to do a pre-program. So if you do the Master in Finance, you don't have a finance background, we will ask you to do the pre-program in finance. If you are interested in business analytics, depending there, if you have a business background, you will do the pre-program in data science. If you have a scientific background, technical background, you will do the business integration path. And then for the other programs, in case you do not, if you do not have a business background, you will also do the business integration part. All those pre-programs are online. Some of them have the last part, the last week, face-to-face. All right. So then, of course, the program starts with a welcome week. This year, we're going to be starting mid-September. And you will start directly with the first term. So the first term, each program has its core courses for the first term. Then in the second term, you will start with the specialized courses. When you start in January, before you start with the specialized courses, you will have the option to do a study tour. So each program has a study tours that you can choose out of with different destinations. We work with partner schools around the world. So that means that you have the option to go 1 week abroad at one of our partner schools. You have the option to do the study tour of your program, but you can also do the study tour of one of the other programs, right? Depending on the topic of the week, the destination, you might then choose one or the other. If you choose not to do the study tour, then you will dedicate more time to seminar skills that are taking place in Barcelona. All right. Then the last term, you will have the opportunity to choose what you're going to be studying. So this is a term that we have electives. There again, each program has its own electives. You can choose out of the electives from your program. Some programs might ask you to do a minimum of electives from your program, and then you can combine with electives from other programs. So which is a good opportunity, taking account and depending on the career path that you will you will be following, you can then choose one or another elective, which will help you most with getting on your career track. Then you will, at the end of the master, you will be asked to deliver a project, and there you have the choice of doing a business project, a business plan, or an in-company project. So if you decide to do an internship after the 12 months, you can then choose to do your master project related to your internship. And then the third option is doing a thesis. So you have the option there to choose. And then, as I just mentioned, after the 12 months, for those of you that want, optionally, you can do an internship. So Claudia will tell us a little bit more after that, what will be the activities that you will be doing then during the year in order to get your internship and also your placement afterwards. All the students are graduating in October, so the graduation is in October. And then also, as I mentioned at the beginning, for those of you that want to study further, there's an option to do one of the other programs at Esade as a second year. You can do a double degree with one of our partners and choose one of the programs that they offer, or you can also choose to do the SAMS program. If you're interested in the SAMS program, we ask you to apply from the very beginning. So together with your first program, you will apply at the same time for the SAMS program, because this selection is being done at the start before you start your first master. If you choose to do a double degree, then you can decide on that later. So that's going to be somewhere in the second term. And then I think, what I think that our programs at Esade, what makes them different from other programs at other schools, as you can see here, there are a lot of ways to customize your program, right? Not only what I just talked about, but then also through the clubs that you can join. You can do languages if you want, and we will hear more about that from our students and alumni. And then another thing I think that you should know that we focus a lot on group work. So a lot of your grades, an important part of your grades, will depend on group work. And that also because we really want to promote this exchange of experiences and learning from each other. So group work, teamwork is very important. Then also a very practical approach. Each program has its own practical, like real projects that you will be doing with companies. So working on challenges that the companies are facing. So yeah, I think this is a short overview of the program itself. Regarding the application process, I know that some of you are already applying, some of you have already submitted, and others have been admitted already to the program. So the admissions process, we will ask you to do an online application. Once you have submitted, there will be an admissions interview. Before that, we will also ask you to do an admissions test, right? So you can do the GMAT, the GRE, but you can also do the Esade test, which is free of charge, and you can book that test once you submit your application. There will be an admissions interview after that, and then we have a weekly committee. So you will see that there are official deadlines, but in practice, we are working with a rolling decision process. So every week, the admissions committee comes together and takes a decision. So it's very fast from our side once you have completed your application. All right, so I think that's the most important. I think I would like to pass the microphone to Claudia, because I think a lot of you, I mean, all of you are doing an MSc program with attention, like, okay, how can I advance my career, and in order to get better career opportunities, right? Claudia, I think you're very happy to tell a bit more about that, right?
Okay, thank you so much. So first of all, welcome everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. As Ursi mentioned, I'm Claudia Mercuri. I work as Associate Director at the Esade Career Team. And more concretely, I work for the Global Industry Team that I will be explaining in a while. I joined Esade a few years ago, actually, back in 2008. And the reason why I'm still doing my job is because I'm completely in love with it, especially because of the students I'm able to meet and the impact we can have in your life. Before starting the presentation about career, I would like to go back to something that Ursi was mentioning that for me is crucial, especially when they think about the many Italian students I have met during my several years at Esade. I think that this practical approach that we have at Esade, it's really crucial in order to develop you, because I'm very keen on the Italian education system. Actually, I live here and my son is studying in the Italian school in Barcelona because I'm keen on it. I consider it a wonderful place to develop amazing knowledge, theoretical knowledge, the ability to think critically, and so on. My personal opinion is possibly we still lack a little bit of practical experience. And so the mix between the Italian education and then the Master of Science at Esade for me is crucial in order to let my Italian students blossom and have amazing careers. So for me, it's always amazing to work with all the Italian students. I work with all the nationalities, right? It's not, but just because here we have a majority of Italian students, it's just to give my impression about it. And also, Khan is studying in Italy, so for me, you could be an Italian student as well in this sense. Now, give me just 1 second to share my screen. Yes. And I will explain a little bit how do we work at Esade Careers. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me or to save your questions for the end of the session. So Esade Careers, we actually reflect the diversity of our students. Our team is composed by more than 30 experts coming from 14 different nations. And we are all aligned together with one mission, that is aligning your career, the career of our students, with your life purpose. So we really work one by one with students in order to make them find the right place to develop their career and be successful. So the Esade Career Director is Maria Obiols. And the team she's managing is divided in 4 different teams. The student engagement includes the program lead, who is the person in charge of maintaining the relations with a specific program. So in this case, I will present you who is the program lead for the Master of Science. The employer engagement team is the one I'm part of, and I will explain it in a second. Then we have the operation team, who is more in charge of all the practical assistance, the logistic of our career fair, the documents for, I don't know, the internship agreement and this type of tasks. And then we have a very important business analytics team that is supporting us with BI, helping us to improve, helping us to develop our strategy in a way that is always better and better for our students. So the employer engagement team, the specificity of our employer engagement team is that we are divided by sector. So we have a consulting team, a tech team, an impact team, a financial services one, and the global industry, which I'm part of. That includes all the sectors that are not included in the other sectorial teams. So, for example, I'm in charge of managing accounts in fast-moving consumer goods, fashion, retail, luxury, automotive, hospitality, and then together with another colleague of mine. And then we have other 2 team members in charge of energy, conglomerates, healthcare, real estate, and a few other sectors. So depending on the career preferences you may have, you can be in touch with people from the specific team. So you want to go to consulting, you will have as a point of reference the consulting team. If you are more interested in one of my sector, you could be in contact with me and my colleague Marion, and I will explain you the way we will be working together. I also have to say that independently from the career focus, I generally try to help all the students that require my help independently if they are not mainly focused on my sectors. So, as I was mentioning, you will have a person of reference that is the program lead, who is Chaya Devarkiani. Then we have Natalia Arango, who is in charge of the follow-up of the placement of our students, and Karina Rubio, who is taking care of developing long-lasting relations with our students. Oops. Sorry, my bad. And here you have the specific teams I was speaking about. We are managed by Maria Jose Verastegui. And then, as you can see, we have the different teams that I was explaining to you. So again, you will have free access to the teams depending on your specific career interest. And this is the operation team that, as I was explaining, is more in charge of the supportive task. Oops, sorry guys, my laptop today is doing with things. Okay, so how are we going to work together? There will be group activities, as for example, trainings, career workshop, sectorial training, very focused on your preferences. Then we have the one-to-one advising sessions that are the most important one in order to develop your strategy. So you will have, of course, the opportunity to work on your CV in order to have it in the best version to be considered by recruiters. Then with the program lead Chaya, you can ask for strategy meetings that help to develop and guide a little bit you depending on your career interests. And then you have sectorial advising that as I was mentioning, can be asked to the different teams depending on your interests, where we work very closely to understand how to approach your target companies, what type of opportunities, what type of roles, so far so on. The part that for me is absolutely the most important one, we always offer and support students with mock interviews. So for example, for give you an example, I have first of all developed many company guides for each company of the major players in our sector. So there you will find all the information you have to know about a company before an interview, and at the end of the document you will find all the questions that this company has been asking to all my previous students during the year. So you have a lot of materials, and then we practice. What I mean explaining that is that we really know what type of requirements has each company, what type of selection process. So when we do mock interviews, we really simulate the real interview you could have with a certain recruiter. And then we will also help you to network with alumni that can support your application. Then, of course, we will bring companies on campus. They can come to, of course, do presentation. We organize different recruitment events, again, based on sectors. So, for example, the 5th of March, we will have the Global Industry Career Fair with many of our partners coming from different countries. The Career Day that actually I've just done today, it's a day where we help you to train in different types of selection processes. I was in charge of, for example, of group dynamics today. So I was doing group dynamics with different group of students and then providing feedbacks and help them understand how should do behave in a real group dynamic during a selection process. And then, as mentioned by Ursi, we organize also company visits and study tours. For example, last January, I was in Milan with a group of marketing students focused on luxury, and we were visiting a few of my partners as Valentino, Missoni, and a few other companies. And then you have, of course, online tools. You have the job portal, the career hub, where you can find many, many materials that will support your preparation. Different platform to train online test, case interview, so far so on, and CV books that we are sharing with companies so they can proactively identify target candidates. Okay, I already explained to you the type of advising you can expect from us. And just for you to have it in mind, there will be different timeline in your application process depending on your career objective. Generally, investment banking will be the first sector asking you to apply. This is the reason why we will be, the financial team, financial services team will be working together with students interested in this field during the summer. So you will be already prepared, as the application will start in September and we wouldn't have time to prepare you. And there will be a specific career fair for financial services, so far so on. Right after the investment banking companies, there will be the consulting one, even if this very depends on the countries. There are a few countries with early application, others where you could apply later on, but you will be informed. And then all the companies that are related with the impact team that covers public institutions, NGOs, and so on, have more or less the same timeline. While the tech company and the global industry companies generally ask you to apply 2-3 months before your availability. So your application time will be much later than your colleagues. Apart from that, it is true that in our companies, there are many graduate programs that are actually the best way to start your career. And those programs may have early deadline in November, December. Again, we will be informing you. Just for you to know, this year we launched the WhatsApp groups with students divided by area of interest, not sector, but marketing, finance, operation, BI, etc. And we are sending all the offers through the groups because we know that newsletters are not so close to your generation. You don't like to read mails. WhatsApp has been the key this year. So we will be informing you constantly about the news. And that's all from my side. I don't know if you have any question.
Oh, sorry.
No? Okay. Ursi, the floor is yours.
Yes. Have a question, and it's maybe about, can you maybe, I don't know if you have it, but some statistics about where students, in particular Italian students, and end up working, concerning also country-wise. Is it common, like usually, to go back to Italy or to go somewhere else? What trend have you a bit observed?
Okay, if you want specific data, I will ask my BI team to provide me, because of course we have information about the placement, but we do not have it by nationality, even if the Italian group is generally pretty big, so it's a group of interest. But I can ask them based on my experience, and as mentioned, I generally have strong relations with the majority of you, independently from the career focus you may have. It very depends on you. I have many alumni working everywhere in Europe, especially because of rotational graduate programs that I was mentioning 1 minute ago. Few of them decided to go back, for example, the consulting sectors generally has only 2 options. One is to apply to Dubai. That is the only international office if you are not native speaker. The second option, I'm speaking about the tier 1, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, you have to apply where you are native speaker. So people very focused on this type of sector and that are not so keen on moving to Dubai. That is a huge choice of life. Many go back to Italy just because of that. It doesn't mean that they stay in Italy. I have few of them that then move to New York and different countries.
Like basically you start in Italy and then you try to get a transfer.
With consulting to optimize your possibilities, again, you have two options: Emirates or the office where you are native speaker. Of course, if you have two languages as native speaker, you can also consider other countries. I wouldn't advise you to apply to London because there the competition could be
Yeah,
absolutely...
there is a Brexit and there is now also this visa thing that they prevent the local language.
I have many Italian alumni working in BCG Dubai, Bain, this type of companies. Again, it is very related also.
What about maybe particularly on asset management, wealth management, therefore banking companies that belong to the financial service sector?
Well, I'm not an expert. Based on my alumni, I can tell you that the most common options for Italians are for sure still UK. Switzerland is growing a lot, of course, because of what you were mentioning. And few of them are also in Germany, where you have many opportunities where the local language is not needed. So they are spread everywhere. Few of them are working in local office in Milan as well, Nomura Milan, these type of things, but they are very specific cases. The majority of them would go to Switzerland or UK.
Okay, interesting.
And we have a huge network there. So if you're interested, when you will be here, I will put you in contact with the alumni working there.
Sounds good.
Any other question? Okay, just to specify, it also depends on the sector. For example, sport business, meaning Adidas, Nike, Puma, all these companies decided to move the strategic offices in the Netherlands. So the majority of students interested in this type of sector generally start from there. You have also local opportunities. With Adidas, of course, there are the German headquarters as well as an option, but many things are happening in the Netherlands. So it very depends.
Yeah. No, but my question I maybe had also like another question, and it is because of course Esade is mainly very strong in Spain, but how is it a bit the because since I'm also from Italy, there is you feel that Bocconi is a bit the dominant tiger there, and how is the relationship?
Honestly, I do not completely agree with that. Of course, we are very strong in Spain, definitely, but because of the diversity of our students and my former students, Dario, and even my current students know it, I have a personal database with all my alumni from everywhere.
Okay.
And whatever country you mention me, I can give you a list of alumni working there. Whatever sector you want to relate with, I can give you. For example, as I was mentioning, I spend half of my time managing accounts and half of my time with students. My accounts are very international. I work with the Netherlands, I work with Germany, I work with Italy a lot, I work with companies everywhere. An Esade team just won the craft ice competition in the Netherlands. That is one of my accounts that led them to obtain a summer internship. So for me, it's not absolutely not true that we are maybe strong in Spain. Another thing that is different is that when we organize the fairs, few companies decide to send people from the Spanish office because it's closer and less expensive. But it doesn't mean that we also only work with the Spanish office. For example, Henkel, the 5th of March is coming from Barcelona. Of course, it's less expensive, but they may open you the door. And Dario is an example of that, not with Henkel, but he will explain, with another fast-moving consumer goods company. And he is not based in Spain. He's in an international office.
So in these, so also in the career fair that you organize, is it also possible to network with like people maybe from other European offices or other international offices?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely, yes. It may
Okay.
be that the representative is from Spain, but then they can link you to other offices. If the I mean, when we host the consulting fair, we have companies coming from Germany because we have a huge group of German, sometimes from Italy because we have a lot of Italians. From Dubai, they always come. So we also try to bring them here, but some companies prefer to have less expenses. But it doesn't mean that you wouldn't be able to apply to different offices. And again, if there is no recruiter, you have alumni, and I promise you, alumni are even better because they can refer you, and the human resource person cannot refer you.
Yeah. Do you, by the way, this was also, you also mentioned Switzerland,
Yes.
because also that is a huge market where I've seen also many Italians are going. How is the Switzerland presence of company representatives during your career fair? Do
During
you
the
see
financial
that?
services fair, you will find many of them. Yes.
Okay,
I
perfect.
couldn't, sorry to interrupt, I couldn't make it so specific. I would prefer to have a more open discussion because,
Oh, yeah.
I will send you a mail with the specific information about Italian students placement. And from there, we can start a conversation more specific.
Yeah, perfect.
Because otherwise we are using too much time and
No
possibly
problem.
the other students are not so interested in that.
No problem, Claudia. Also
Thank you
saying
so much,
your
Alfonso.
name, and I
Yeah.
contact you
Thank you,
private.
Alfonso, for the questions. I
You're
think it's
welcome.
time for our students and also for Dario to introduce themselves. So maybe Dario, you can start. You're the more senior one here. Well, I would like to ask you all to introduce yourself. What is the program that you've done, that you're doing? What was your background? Maybe a little bit more about your background before you started the program. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I would start saying that as a bachelor degree, I studied in Rome. I don't know if anyone is from Rome, but yeah, I studied in Tor Vergata University and doing the bachelor in business administration and economics with Maxim, that is here as well. And then I decided to move to Spain, to Barcelona, to attend the master in international management. Currently, I'm in Amsterdam as I started working for Racket. I don't know if you're familiar with the company, but it's a multi-brand company like Procter & Gamble or Unilever. Some of our brands are Finish, Vanish, Dettol, Napisan in Italian, or Durex, that is the more known. And I work in procurement, so supply chain basically. And that is not strictly related to the more known area of the business. So it's a niche, I would say, but yeah, I'm enjoying the time for the moment here in Amsterdam. So yeah, just to reply to Alfonso, yeah, I'm Italian and I'm working in Amsterdam.
And Dario, maybe you can also let us know why you choose to do your master abroad and not in Italy, and why you choose Esade.
Well, I make a link with what you already said before. Basically, I mean, as I said, I spent the whole educational life in Italy, so I have very on the book approach. So studying a lot for the final exams, a lot of workload in terms of studying, but very little hands-on approach, and that was something that I was really missing. So in choosing the master, I was really looking for something more proactive, more an approach more practical. And so I started, of course, my research with the ranking, so trying to see which were the best university in around Europe. And I found Esade, and I got interested into, and I saw two main things that really caught my eyes, I would say. The first one is the international a project in action. There is a project that you will do in the first 2 semesters. So basically you will work while studying. I mean, work in the sense that you will run a real project on a real company, with a real company, during your master. And so this gives you the opportunity to really challenge yourself in a real environment. And the second things was the internationality of the class. So basically, in every class, you have at least, I don't know how many nationalities, but you work always with people from different countries, and that was something that I was really missing back in Italy. So I was looking for these 2 parameters, I would say. And Esade was for me the perfect match. I mean, I applied also for other university. I think I can say that. And but at the end of the day, I choose Esade. I mean, the other universities were Copenhagen Business School, Dublin University, Lewis in Rome, and Esade. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm happy that I choose Esade. I will do the same selection again.
Thank you,
And,
Dario.
yeah.
Just for regarding the nationalities that you mentioned, so we have this year in class about 560 students, more or less, and we have more than 70 different nationalities. So, so yeah, it's quite diverse. It depends, of course, on what program to the other, but I mean, like nationality-wise, all the programs are diverse. Then from one program to the other, we can have more female than male. So yeah, but yeah. Eleonora, would you like to go next?
Sure. So hi, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here presenting Esade. So my name is Eleonora and I'm studying the Master in Marketing Management. My background was in corporate communication and PR. I studied in Ulm in Milan because I'm originally from Italy. And the reason why I chose Esade is because meanwhile I was taking a summer internship, I got to know a few people from Barcelona, and I was told that Esade was among the best universities in Spain. So I got to know it better, researched more information, and I fell in love basically with the marketing program. I think it was exactly what I was looking for, in the sense that during my bachelor, I found out that I was more passionate about business subjects, but still, I wanted to have that marketing perspective that I've always enjoyed in my life. So the Master in Marketing Management was a great combo for me. And in hindsight, I cannot be happier with my choice. And there are a couple of points that I would like to mention now that in hindsight, I realized and that add great value to the beautiful school that Esade is. So first of all, the human attention that as a students are always dedicated. Like you never feel like you're just a number. You feel like you're a person and that you have like a profile that is really known in depth by your professors and your colleagues. So just imagine that during the first days of my master, the director of marketing, who is called Isamol, and maybe someone of you guys will have the pleasure to meet her in person. She's wonderful. So she invited each one of us as students to her office to meet us in person, to have like 20, 30 minutes, just like a coffee chat, to see the persons right behind those names of the students that she was teaching to. And I think this is in a nutshell the essence of Esade. The classes are relatively small, comparing to what I was used to in Italy, which grants a different approach, because whenever we have a lesson, we build the learning together. And we also have something called participation grade, which might sound quite scary at first, because at least I wasn't used to that. But so basically you're graded each class based on the quality of the interventions that you make. And it's this is a sort of way to promote active engagement of alumni. Because again, we're not given lessons. We create our learning as a group that, thrives together. And so far, like after 6 months, I've really seen a progress in myself, but as well in the group of people I'm in. This has also created amazing bonds among us. And the last part that was probably missing in my educational background and that I found in Esade finally is the real opportunity for hands-on experiences, meaning that it's not just theory again, but practical projects. For example, I was involved directly with real companies, and I had to talk to promote solutions that my teammates and I were coming up with to CEOs of companies. I was working with the worldwide leader in pharmaceutical packagings, and it was amazing having such an exposure. Like as a student, I think this has never happened to me before, and I'm so grateful that now I'm gaining the real insights from the work life that I was missing before, and that has also helped me a lot to figure out more what I want for my future, which is really important. Like you're never left alone, and nothing is ever taken for granted. You feel like you're really accompanied through your journey. And yeah, it's amazing that you can exploit, let me pass this word, a point of reference next to you. And like also Claudia, for example, and the All Career Service team is such a great example of this. So yeah, I'm just grateful.
Thank you, Eleonora. Matilda, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Matilda, and I'm currently doing the Master in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So a bit of different master from them. I chose Esade surely for its reputation. So I did a Bachelor in Economics and Management, so like normal business studies. And then I wanted to do something more creative. So I thought like, what's best at exploring innovation and entrepreneurship. And I went to look for masters, and I found that Esade had a really good program. It is really customizable. They gave us the chance also, like in everyday lectures, to speak with a lot of guest speakers. So we knew a lot of people coming from different companies, working all over around the world. So we had also the chance to do the study tour, where we went to explore different cities, and we met many entrepreneurs showing their experience, and actually many people also who studied in Esade before. So you also have the chance of seeing where people that studied in here in your university will end up. And I think that's really nice. And what else? Yeah, I surely connect to what Dario said about having a more practical approach. In my master, in like specifically, but I know it's a thing in all masters, we have like so many group projects where you actually can explore like many things. I had the chance in almost all the subjects I did to create my own company. Actually, like you do it theoretically, but then there is also the chance to go on with that project after the master. So it's really nice because it's really creative, and you really develop many skills. Now, for example, I'm also doing an innovation internship project where I have the chance to work for a solution for a company, and we're learning to use no code. So I think the whole program, like you may customize it as you like, and really have an all-round experience from which you can learn what's the best for your future and what you want to do after the master.
Thank you, Matilda, for sharing. Okay, Maxim, it's your turn.
Yeah, thank you very much, Orsi, and thank you very much, Claudia, for the presentation. Thank you, my colleagues, and thank you guys for being here because it's a very important opportunity for me and for us, like, and for you to understand really what Esade can offer to our experiences. So basically, I'm doing the Master of Science in Finance, but my journey in Esade didn't start this year because I come from Bocconi, talking about Bocconi, and I did a double degree from Bocconi last year in Esade, where I did the international management, and where I also talked long days with Dario and convinced him to come because I really heard a lot of good things about Esade, and especially the hands-on approach, which is something that I really lacked in Italian university, both also Bocconi and Tor Vergata. So we decided to come and to explore the opportunities that Esade could offer. In short, what I really appreciated about Esade, and then what actually convinced me to do a new year here in finance, was the fact where both hands-on approach that they really stressed well. And to make you some concrete examples, for example, international management last year at the IPA, which was the International Project in Action, a project that spanned across the whole year, where you could work in a real consulting case with a company. In my case, it allowed me, for example, to really get in depth with sustainability, which is something I heard about before, but I didn't really know what concretely meant to actually create sustainability for a company, and I understood it through that project, working with a very strong international team. And for example, this year in finance, we have the finance project, but there are so many other opportunities to put into practice what you learn. Like, for example, also association in Esade, which are very a thing there. For example, there are finance association, entrepreneurship, especially associations that allow you to turn your ideas concretely into something real and work with a lot of like-minded and open-minded people. Then, as my colleagues mentioned, was the chance in every course basically to work on with actual companies, multinationals, or on actual companies and multinationals for several kinds of projects. So you basically spend a lot of days working on projects with your diverse team composed of colleagues from really a lot of different internationalities. So what I really learned practically was also to work in teams properly with people that have different backgrounds, that have different levels, different nationalities, and so on. And so I also appreciated the human aspect of the experience because I had chance not only to bond with my colleagues for all the projects within the courses and outside for association and so on, but also I enjoyed the human aspect in terms of the relationship that you can have with the professor because you are constantly in touch with them, differently, for example, from a lot of Italian university and Bocconi as well. And also the chance to be in touch with the administration. For example, I had chance last year to know the dean of the faculty, all the people in the career, and whatever idea you have to improve, for example, Esade. Last year, I make you a quick example just to let you know how this translates in practical terms. We missed, there were a lot of productive, let's say, tools in Esade, like rooms, idea labs, finance labs, but they lack something also to entertain students and to bond more with colleagues. We added, for example, footballing and a lot of different things in Esade. So really, you are heard as a student, you have a chance to bond a lot, and you have a chance to really work on a lot of different projects. And this is something that really distinguishes this university from a lot of other universities abroad. And just to say something, for example, Bocconi in the last ranking had a very low score, for example, on diversity. And I really think that what made the difference here in Esade was all the amount of internationalities we had and the chance to really experience them all. And to also understand how different people reason, think, how they put their ideas into action, which is something really invaluable and that will last for the rest of your lives.
Thank you, Maxime. Well, thanks to all of you. I think it's time for questions. So feel free to shoot your question. Who maybe you could raise your hand. So yes, so that we don't talk all of us together. who wants to go first with a question? Alfonso.
Yeah. Sorry, just one moment. Yeah, okay, I have a question for Maxime, which is in particular, where do you see your career in the next years? What is a bit your plan, where you want to go? I also have seen you are like a double degree in a double degree program. So yeah, where is your way bringing you?
Yeah. So basically, maybe I didn't clarify this as much because I had a lot to say. But basically, I did last year a double degree from Bocconi, so with Esade. But this year, I'm currently enrolled as a normal student in Esade for the program of finance. So now I'm not doing an internal double degree or something else with Esade. I'm a normal student in Esade. How do I see my career? So I fell in love last year with finance. I was doing management because of the two professors I had in corporate finance and financial markets in Esade. So I decided that I really wanted to develop more practical skills in finance, and especially I got really interested in asset management. So what I can suggest for those who want to apply for finance, for example, it's to start preparing as early as possible, either for investment banking or for asset management, if they're interested in, because as you know, the time when you should start to apply is starting from the summer, either for internships or for full time.
Yeah, for summer internships is always very early.
Yeah, better to start earlier. But of course, also now, for example, in February, it's starting a new, let's say, round, a new period, especially also in Switzerland, as you mentioned before. There could be new opportunities. I have a friend, for example, who is doing a double degree in St. Gallen in Switzerland from Esade. So he did last year finance, and now he's there to study asset management as well. And he said that now it's let's say an off period to start applying again. But at the moment, to be honest, because I started a bit late because of my personal mistake with the application and so on. But and also, as you know, it's very tough.
Yeah, but I mean,
considering a lot of position in startups, for example, in off-cycle internship and internship in startups in finance-related roles here in Barcelona also, because I really like the city.
Thank you, Maxime. I see that Sophia has a question. And then also saw, there are two Sophias. Okay. I thought both of you had a question, right? So maybe Sophia Mariana first.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question for Eleonora. Because I come from the same background, so I'm studying communication, corporate communication in Milan. But I'm more passionate about the business side. So my question would be if you feel like this more collaborative way is enough to maybe fill the lacks that you might have regarding like business, since you don't come from a business bachelor, but a communication one.
Okay, so as it was mentioned before, Esade gives you the chance to integrate the gaps that you have. For example, I did the BIP, which is the business integration path, before the actual start of the year. So all those lacunes that I had in business and the credits that I was missing, I had the chance to recoup them thanks to the course. And then another part of that makes the beauty of Esade is the chance you have to tailor your path, specifically during the third term. So wherever you feel you have the need to deepen more your knowledge, you know, that's the area to improve, and probably there will be courses suitable for that need.
Okay, and also I wanted to ask you, did you take the GMAT or did you take the Esade like test?
I didn't. Well, I was preparing for the GMAT, but then when I found out that there was the option to take the intern test, I did that one. So my advice would be try to prepare meanwhile studying from the GMAT, because in the end the format it's quite similar. But yeah, also try the internal one. I mean, if you have the chance
Okay.
to, why not?
Thank you.
No worries.
Sophia, you also had a question?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for sharing. Would like to thank to the students that they share with us all the experiences. I have a question related to the SEMS Master in Management because I think it's something really invaluable. The thing that Esade is part of the SEMS a global alliance, this global alliance of leading business schools. I wanted to know how is the process. I mean, in terms of when you apply for the master, you need to apply for the SEMS 2 at the beginning, and I did it. But when you got the results from Esade, I mean, you know if you are being accepted from the master, you also know in which school you are going to do your double degree.
Okay, I think that's a question for me, Sophia?
Yes, yes, it's
Have
for
the
you.
interview tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes, we will meet tomorrow.
I'll see you again tomorrow. So it's correct, as you said. So if you're interested in the SAMS program, you do like you did it correctly. So you apply for both programs at the same time. I also saw that you put your preferences of schools that you would like to study. Now, we recommend you to make up like a top 5 list of schools. It's not when you are admitted that immediately you will know what school you're going to be going to.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
each school every year, and that's going to be at the end of the first term, they will say, okay, each school is going to say how many seats they have available because it changes also every year. And some year we have a new school joining the alliance. So then we will know, okay, these are the seats available. And then we will see it's going to be based on your grades, your performance for the first term. And then we're going to be allocating, well, it's a calculation system. We're going to be allocating, I thought, if I'm not mistaken, like 50% get a school that is in the first or the second choice. And then 50% get the school that is in the rest of their top 3, 4. So yeah, so I recommend to before you're gonna have to make a decision, or you're gonna have to choose if you have 2 options, to just make up your list, top 5 list of the schools.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? Any? No question. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead. I have a lot of questions. Who would like to go? No more questions? No? All right. So then I do have a question. I don't know who wants to answer, but I would like to hear a bit more about your time management, because I mean, there's so many additional things that you can add to your program. Then we have Barcelona, an amazing city you're living in. There's a lot of extracurricular activities. You have the classes, you have the projects, you have then the study tours. So how do you manage your time? Who wants to go first? Maxime, yeah.
Okay, so time management is crucial indeed in Esade, because as we said, for the hands-on approach, we really work on a lot of projects, and sometimes it could seem like you really don't have time to do anything, but you have to do everything at the same time. So what is really important is to talk as soon as possible with the teams, with your teammates, and try to be as much efficient as possible. Of course, you'll have a chance to know them. Of course, you'll have a chance to understand how they work, but it's important to organize properly the works. In terms of efforts, it will never be that, at least in my personal experience, I share this, that you all put exactly the same effort on each project, because for me, it's always counterproductive, but definitely you have a chance to learn and to put your hands on each project. And for what concerns all the activities that Barcelona has to offer, the study tours and so on, well, the fact that the Esade academic year is divided in 3 terms is very cool, because the first term in general tends to be general and to introduce all the topics. The second one is more specialized, and especially in the third term, So after the study tour, where you'll bond even more with your colleagues, and it's not too much time consuming in terms of activities that you do there, but it's more about bonding and living, enjoying the cultural experience and so on. The third term is characterized by the electives that you choose, and you choose to specialize in what you really like and love. And then you will have not the full week of 5 days, at least it's very rare. It happens, but it's rare. And you will have, for example, like days per week or 3 days, from what I heard, maximum. So you have a lot of free days to manage properly your studying, manage your activities with your friends in Barcelona, exploring a little bit the other cities. You can go skiing. You can go enjoying sometimes with your friends the beaches. So that's a very good opportunity to really do both. So the academic life and to enjoy your times with your friends. But time management and managing the things within the team is very important. So I highly suggest to make these things clear from the very beginning with all your teammates. And definitely we will run an amazing experience.
Yeah, so what I recommend before you start a program, because I receive very often the question, how can we prepare, right? So I think it's important to see what are all the electives that you can choose out, what are the study tours looking like, what are all the different ways how I can customize a program so that you have an idea, okay, I would like to do this or this, I would like to focus on that. In any case, I mean, you might change because once you start a program, you will also receive the guidance from the career team. So they might also advise you, okay, if you want to go into that direction, why don't you take this elective or why don't you do this, right? So, but at least to have an idea, what are all the options for you to customize the program. So yeah, and I don't know if anybody else wants to add something to what Maxime said. Mathilde.
Maybe I'll add a quick thing. I also think that especially for how like Esade values people and group projects, you'll never feel like you're really too much, putting too much effort in some things, because having the chance to speak to people, to know new people in every project, to work with different people in every subject, I think that's also a really nice part of it, which makes the work much lighter. Yeah, for the importance Esade gives to networking and to knowing new people and to sharing experience. So I think obviously there are many things to do, a lot of things to learn, but this makes the experience lighter and yeah, you will enjoy it much more.
Thank you, Mathilde.
Just to add on that, to me, the time management is crucial. It's true, but it's also important because in the end, it's just a preparation for what we're going to face tomorrow. Like specifically in marketing, we're working with real companies, you know, for each subject, we have normally one company to deliver a project. So they actually need our help and effort. And this is a way to train ourselves because out of Esade, we're going to do precisely the same and we're going to work possibly within even harder deadlines. And something that one of my professors told us that I really appreciated is you guys are here this year to make as many mistakes as possible because this is the safe space where you're allowed to. But starting from next year, you will be professionals and probably you won't be expected to make any mistakes. So make the most out of this experience now, try as hard as you can. And yeah, that's it. So I think
very well said, Eleonora.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it first, but I'm just repeating it because I believe it's true.
Yeah. Are there any other questions that came up in the meantime?
Well, Ursi, I would have a question.
Simone.
Yeah, one is for you and one is for Claudia. Okay, for you, Ursi, I have a question regarding the program because you talk about the term and the section of the program. I have a question regarding the term 2 in January. I have seen on on the website of the program that we could choose also electives together with the skill seminar and study tour. It's true. I have read in the finance master, but I don't know if.
Yes, depending on the program, there might be some electives that are taking place before, but the big concentration is going to be in the last term.
Okay.
It depends on the program that they might give the opportunity to do some electives before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Also for Claudia,
Yes, please.
I want to ask you if there is a way to build a relation with students and to find the right career path for him, even yet during the program, to take in touch with the company, because I know that financial services or consulting are really competitive, even in big city like Paris or London or Milan also. So if there's a way to make a connection with each student for the companies.
Well, it very depends, and it mainly depends on your proactivity. It depends on you, the way you interact with us. I'm always available. I think that the current students and the former students who have been in contact with me know that we are always open. Just to make it clear and do not create false expectations. We do work with many companies, but of course, because of the data protection law, we will never put you in direct contact with recruiters because this is not allowed.
Okay.
Again, whenever I have alumni in companies of your interest, and I know that they are more than happy to support you, they will. I will, and they will support you. I always say that I worked very hard my first years at Esade. And somehow I work less now because half of the job is done by my alumni.
Okay.
Because they are so good in supporting my current students, in moving their CVs, in preparing you for technical questions, in everything. It's amazing. So in this way, definitely yes.
Okay, thank you, Claudia. At the end
The
of
answer
the day,
to all the students would be no, because not all the students ask for help. Just because of that.
Understood. So at the end of the day, it depends also from the proactivity of the students, how much the student make effort in it, how much is prepared, is ready for.
Okay. I mean, it very depends on you. If you do not ask, we will never know that you need help. Sometimes I even be proactive and I start to ask because I see that, I don't know, the person is not very active, is not applying, but it's more your own responsibility. We are here to partner with you, but you are the one taking the lead of it, explaining what you need, when you need it, and we'll be next to you, giving you all you need. Definitely,
Great.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You will be in good hands for sure, Simone.
Thank you.
Maybe one last question and then we can close. And I see Lorenzo. Two short questions. Lorenzo, maybe you go first because you haven't asked any question yet.
Hi.
And then we go to Alfonso.
Yeah, mine is very short. It's for Claudia. I saw you're following the sports business,
Yes.
recruitment and all. You mentioned like Puma and Adidas for like as main players. Is there also a great network to get into professional sports team? Is this a possibility or?
I do have alumni working in this type of sector. So I have in Dubai, I have in Germany. One of my most amazing alumnus is working as communication director for the Milan Football Club. So we do have, we work, I mean, Football Club Barcelona, of course, we work at Esade. I work at Esade. We have many managers and directors of the Barcelona club that are from Esade. I was mentioning more retail companies because they are huge in terms of numbers of employees. And this means also much more opportunities in terms of number of opportunities. The Milan or sorry, I'm missing I'm very tired this time of the day after a very intense day. One of my students is director in the team in Dubai where Ronaldo is playing now. I cannot remember the name of the football team. Anyway, those type of companies may have one position next year, or maybe two, or maybe none. So if I have to speak about number of students joining retail companies, they are much more bigger than the one joining specific clubs. It doesn't mean that it is impossible. You have to be also lucky to have the real perfect opportunity related with your profile in the right moment. But yes, there are.
Thank you.
Claudia, we also have some alumni in La Liga, right? If I'm not
La
mistaken.
Liga, yes.
Yeah.
But it's La Liga, we have La UEFA, we have the Olympic Games, we have water polo, we have paddle organization, whatever. We have a little bit of everything. I was just specifying that it's not the same in terms of number of opportunities, but the network is there. And it's an amazing network, yes. Also consider that one thing to bear in mind is that depending on the final goal, the path to reach it is not always on one-way path. I give you an example. One of my amazing students working currently for the UEFA, it's funny, she's working for the UEFA. She was obsessed with basket when she was studying here. And she was basket, but there were not so many opportunities here in Europe. So what she did, she joined Müller, the yogurt company, because this was one of the main sponsors for the basket tournaments. So she went there. Of course, she asked a position in the team organizing the sponsoring the events. She spent there, I would say, 1 year more or less. She moved to ING, that is the not organization, the agency organizing all the events, and then she moved to the web because of her decision. So sometimes to join Nike in the company who is managing the license of a team is just the first step to reach the final goal. So we have to be open when we think about our career strategy, because sometimes we do not see that there are different paths in order to reach the final objective. But I promise you, and I'm completely honest, I cannot think about one single student who is not in the right place, having the most amazing career for him or forever. Some have been
that's one
faster, others needed, depending on specific situation, whatever, a longer path, but the final, sorry, I cannot find the word, the meta has been achieved by everyone. Actually, I say that I love my job because my job is to make the dreams of my students come true. And I really believe it because I see it every year. So this is my answer. Sorry, I'm too long when I speak. I cannot stop when I speak about my alumni.
No, I think it's very useful information, Claudia. Alfonso, did you have a question?
Yes, just a quick question, and it's about the pre-course of the finance program. Maybe Maxime can also give me some more information about that, because I study international business, which is basically a general business administration bachelor program. And I was wondering if with such a general bachelor program, where of course you do still corporate finance, accounting, etc., if you still need this preparation course.
Okay, Alfonso, I think that's a question for me, but Maxime, if you want to add anything,
Okay,
feel free.
Sorry.
So yeah, we will have to have a deeper look. So normally if your bachelor is mainly business, we will have a look at what are the finance courses that you've been doing. So depending on the courses, on so it's going to be a one-to-one decision. So we take every application separately, and we also, when we go to the committee for admissions to the program, that's also something that we will discuss with our associate dean, right? So to see, okay, go deeper in the courses. And depending on how many courses you've done related to finance, we will then decide if you need to do the pre-program or not.
Do you also have a particular ECTS thresholds, isn't it?
Sorry, what do you mean by?
Do you have also particular maybe ECTS thresholds?
The credits for
Yeah.
you mean for the pre-program?
Yeah, credits. No, like
No,
I
not
mean
for the pre-program.
credits of finance modules. For example, you need to have to do I don't know, this amount of credits.
Yes, I mean that's for all the programs. So the courses are corresponding to credits, depending how long that the courses are. It will have a number of credits associated. Yes. But that's different for each course, and also the electives. The study tour will also have credits, so it all adds up, right? If you don't do a study tour, you will do the seminar skills instead to get the credits.
My question was like if you need a particular amount of finance credits to access the program and without the need of doing this preparation.
I will have to check with the committee on that.
Okay,
so
no problem.
If you can remind me, if you need to know how many credits, then I'll let you know for sure.
Thank you.
Just remind me by email. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Great. Okay, so maybe one last very short question to all of the students and Dario. So if you would give one advice to the candidates that are here today, what would you like to tell them? Dario, maybe you can start.
Yes. Well, enjoy as it's I mean, if you're going to be in Esade, it's going to last it's going to fly the time. But yeah, when you are there, exploit every tool. So I mean, as I said, the career office is a tool, so exploit it. So take advantage of all the services that Esade can give you in order to make the best of this experience, because it's really up to you. So if you're just passive and following lesson, you get maybe 20% or 40%, and then you have way more there is all around it, and it's really up to you to pursue and to explore in order to make the best of it. So please, whenever you are there, feel free to ask to all the people around you, even other people that you know from other masters, in order to get to know the others, to get to know each other, and to first of all do a networking. There is the base of this environment. So network.
Thank you, Dario. Eleonora.
Yeah, so to build on Dario's point, probably I would say, in case you guys come to Esade, feel free to express yourself and to ask whenever, like, don't feel afraid if you don't have super clear ideas in your mind, and don't even come with prejudice, because most of the time you're quite convinced that you like something, but actually maybe you join, I don't know, an impact talk that Esade organizes, and suddenly you understand that you might be interested in impact. So since it's it's an important time of your life where you can figure out best about your future, really make the most out of it, out of every opportunity that is offered to you, because you never know. You're here and you still have to figure out a lot of yourself. So yeah, take the chance to do so.
Thank you, Leonora. Matilda.
Yeah, for sure. What they said, like, is very true. One of the most important things I believe is of like making the best of this experience, because Esade offers so many things, as we mentioned until now. And if you take the best of them, they will really help you for your future. And then, like, enjoy the experience, get out of your comfort zone, get to know a lot of people and how they get to know how they think in a diverse way from you. And yeah, this is what I suggest.
Thank you. Maxime.
Yeah, in brief, to sum up what you said, basically, take it easy. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and welcome the experience, because in the very first weeks, you'll understand how the environment works and try to get the most out of it. And you will find out that you will discover a lot of very, very good things and experiences.
Thank you. Well, I think with all those wise words, we can close the session. So from my side, I would like to thank all of you. Well, those of you candidates that attended, I hope, and I'm quite confident that the information was quite useful for you, right? But if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. I think you all have my email. So feel free if you want to organize a follow-up session if you haven't talked yet. Happy to further guide you. And then, of course, thank you, Dario, for being here, Matilda, Eleonora, Maxime, and Claudia, of course. And yeah, good luck with for those of you that that have decided to apply to Esade, and hopefully we meet each other on campus in September, right? Okay, so have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Maybe one more thing I want to say before we go. We have organized an event with one of our top professors, Giulio Toscani. He's an expert in digital strategy. So that event is going to take place, if I'm not mistaken, on the 22nd of April. So that's going to be an alumni event where we're going to be inviting candidates also to come. So I will update you as soon as I have invitation ready. So you're all more than welcome to join us.
Thank you, Yurtsi.
Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Claudia.
Bye. See you soon.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
guys. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.